Waku Waku 7 is a 2D one-on-one fighting game developed and published by Sunsoft in 1996. Initially released in the arcades for the Neo Geo Multi-Video System, or MVS, it was later converted to the home system called the Neo Geo Advanced Entertainment System, or AES. It was then ported to the Sega Saturn in 1997 with a Japan-only release, and was included on the Japan-exclusive Sunsoft collection on the PS2 in 2008. Later, it was released on the Wii Virtual Console, and more recently has seen a release on the Nintendo Switch, PS4 and Xbox One. Waku Waku 7 sees you take control of one of 7 varied fighters as you seek to collect all 7 Waku Waku balls, as whoever gains all 7 balls will have their dearest wish granted. Each character pays homage to a certain aspect of Japanese cinema or video games. This is a game that has its tongue firmly in its cheek and doesn't take itself seriously. Waku Waku 7 employs the traditional best of 3 rounds fighting trend we all know and love. There are 9 characters overall, however the final boss Fernandez, or Fernandeth in the Japanese version, and the bonus round Punchbag Bonus Kun are only available in versus mode. Controls are simple for a fighting game, consisting of 4 attacks: light punch, light kick and strong kick, while holding back will make your character block. Special moves are taken straight from the Street Fighter 2 How to Perform Special Moves handbook and are relatively easy to pull off, in that if you can do Ryu or Ken's Fireball, Dragon Punch or Hurricane Kick, you'll feel right at home here. You have a power gauge which you build up, allowing you to charge up for more powerful attacks. Building your gauge also allows you to perform one of 3 super special moves. These are your Doki Doki, Hara Hara and Waku Waku moves. When performing a Hara Hara move, your character charges up and a warning flashes across the screen and an alarm sounds. This leaves you vulnerable for a few seconds, and if your opponent is quick enough, they can attack you, which cancels out your Hara Hara. If they aren't quick enough, then you unleash a huge, devastating, unblockable and very tough to dodge attack. Each character's special moves, while unique to them, are all pulled off using the same moves, which are relatively easy to do, which makes Waku Waku 7 very easy to get into. Unfortunately, the Saturn version is rather slow and sluggish compared to the Neo Geo version and later ports, even with the Saturn's expansion cartridge for extra horsepower on board. When limbs are flailing, charge-ups charging and Doki Doki's doing, the frame rate really takes a hit. Load times, although not necessarily long, are very frequent and tend to disrupt the flow of the game. Graphically, Waku Waku 7 is an absolute feast for the eyes. Graphics are bright, colourful, vibrant and just leap off the screen. It's like playing a cartoon. Sprites are large, detailed and superbly animated. When you fight the final boss, Fernandez, in which you are transformed into huge kaiju-sized characters in a homage to Godzilla, there are times where Fernandez pretty much takes up half the screen. The only downside to this is it really impacts on the gameplay, as the action slows down as the frame rate tanks. Each character's stage is in a different varied location, from a beachfront, to a school, to a lost forest, to the grounds of a huge mansion. Time passes throughout the rounds, going from day to dusk to night over the 3 rounds, which I really liked. Each of the stages is on a large and impressive scale as the camera zooms in and out of the action. There's also nice detail and action going on in the background. However, some of the backgrounds are very pixelated, which is a real shame as you can see how detailed they could have been. It's doubly unfortunate because the Saturn was an absolute 2D powerhouse of a machine, with games like Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2, X-Men vs Street Fighter, and the Darkstalkers series, showing that the Saturn could easily do detailed characters and backgrounds as well as fast, frantic but smooth as silk fighting. Maybe if Sunsoft had had more time to convert Waku Waku 7, we could have seen how it was supposed to look and play, or maybe it was just another victim of the Saturn's difficult to program for architecture. Sound-wise, Waku Waku 7 shines with some absolutely fantastic stage music. Each character's stage music is fast-paced to match the action on screen and perfectly complements each character's visual style. Personal favourites are Arena's stage music, which sounds like it belongs in an early 90s feel-good teen comedy, and Dandy J's with its bluesy harmonica and strumming guitar, perfectly complementing his badass cowboy look. You'll find yourself humming and whistling these stage musics hours after you've turned the console off. I actually prefer the music of Waku Waku 7 over that of Street Fighter 2, or any Street Fighter game for that matter. Speaking of Street Fighter 2, the bonus stage music where you fight Bonus Kun sounds very similar to Ryu's stage music from Street Fighter 2. Again, Waku Waku 7 paying homage to other video games. Punches and kicks land with a satisfying smack and sound like they really do hurt. Cartoony sounds like that of Maru running forward complement the animated graphical style. When the characters hit the floor, they do so with a bone-shattering thud. With only 7 main characters to choose from, and the range of moves pretty much the same for every character, it won't be long before you've found your preferred fighter. After that, you'll be able to hone your skills and take the game on at the various difficulties, or take your mates on in the versus mode. However, with no real unlockable characters or extra modes, this does limit Waku Waku 7's replay value. But to be honest, I never get bored of seeing this game's bright, colourful visuals and fantastic animation, and I regularly pop this game in my Saturn for a playthrough every so often. Much thanks needs to go to my brother, who picked this up for me on his trip to Japan a few years ago. I even bought the re-release on the Xbox One, which, to be honest, is definitely the way to play it, as it's superior to the Saturn version in every way, and for less than £6.50 you really can't go wrong. And for a genre that has always taken itself way too seriously, Waku Waku 7, even in 2021, for a one-on-one fighting game that's now 25 years old, with its tongue-in-cheek, cartoony approach to the fighting genre, is, for me, still a refreshing fighting game experience.